So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So, let's take a look at the new level limit break patch. It's a bit late, but I hope it's understandable. I was very busy with Kizuna, and when I record this video, we added the point event and everything, so that takes priority. But now, let's talk. And I made a video earlier this month about this maybe being the last level limit break batch for legends, but they actually skipped two of the legends that should be getting level limit break through this method, monthly method, in the Germa legend as well as V1 Big Bomb. Those remain without a level limit break. So we'll see what they do. Maybe they do those two, and maybe they're finally getting into rare recruits and free-to-play and such. Crossing my fingers. We'll see. Anyway, we got some cool ones here. I guess we'll start from the right and work our way to the left. So let's talk about Doffy. V2 Doffy, and usually we take a quick look at what they did before. Before, Doffy was -1 CD captain, mono-driven captain as well, 1.4 times HP, 4.75 times attack. Dex quick slots have matching, and strength slots are drastically reduced. Drastically is a big reduction, so you're unlikely to get many strength at all, basically. So pretty bland, didn't really see any use at all. Obviously back in the day, V2 Doffy was godlike. So godlike that they really debuff driven all the time, but that's a long time ago. Anyway, special still solid. He can do up to 999, I guess that's like billion, a lot anyway. Basically, it's 2.5 times the amount of damage done after you kill the enemy. So that can go up an insane amount. Usually you try to really build so one unit, especially one unit, does a ton of damage and just overkills like crazy, and then Doff can kill the next stage too. It's really cool when you can work it like that. But of course useless against normal attacks only, but V2 Doffy got a buff that if the enemy does have normal attacks only, Driven at least get a 2.5 times attack boost and makes Psi in slots have matching slot effects. And obviously Doffy has always been good in PvP too. Before, Driven attack up and Dex speed up, def up level 6. But mainly the special was really good. 2 times damage, and then he does a lot of 1 times attack hits the less time is remaining, so Doffy is a great cleaner in PvP Dex teams. Now, let's take a look at his buffs. I keep exiting. Anyway, now. Still -1 CD. Still mono-driven captain with 1.4 times HP, but now you get a 5.25 times attack with matching slots. And still Dex quick slots beneficial, still drastically reduced strength slots. But a very cool addition is that he can reduce the spear by 5 turns, and that's obviously invaluable and makes this Doflamingo a lot more usable in general, and you legit have reasons to running him as captain when he has such a powerful effect. Like, 5 isn't that bad either. Like PvP Legend Garb, for example, that can remove bind, he only got 3 turns, that's really meh. But 5 turns is still the standard amount of the spear. Sometimes we get 6 or something, but you can easily just put a support for that. So that's really cool actually. As for the special, he still does the same damage through beyond killing the enemy 2.5 times. And I think that's fair. It's still very much, he's the best at what he does. Like, nobody does exactly what he does, but he's the best at it still. And now if captain is driven, you reduce damage reduction and def up by 6 turns. And note that first it says the damage, and then it says that he removes the debuffs. So don't expect him to first remove the debuffs and then do the damage. So Bandai aren't that nice to us, but still, you can run him for other reasons than that big damage he can do. That's some good utility. And he also can do an attack boost if there's not normal attacks only applied to your crew. Still 2.5 times and still makes Psi-in slots matching, and obviously Psi-in slot matching matches up well with the Captain ability, makes all color orbs matching except for strength, which you shouldn't be getting anyway. So, solid upgrade. Nothing I get. I shouldn't say it's meh or anything. It's pretty good with the Captain update and utility in the special, so I think it's like the perfect buff he could have got. As for PvP, he can now debuff Free Spirit, which is pretty damn cool actually. The rest seems to be the same in the ability. As for the special, they've just increased the numbers and it's a big improvement, 2.2 times attack. And then the rest of the damage is staggered. So yeah, it felt like Doflamingo was falling off a bit, but he's right back in it with this upgrade for sure. Look forward to trying him out. But yeah, with that, let's move on to the next one, which will be V1 Brook. Which obviously is the only captain that lets you recover from game over, which is very broken mechanic. He was held back by very low attack boost, 3.5 times. And you needed full HP, that's very limiting. And if not, you drop down to 2.5 times attack. Strength, quick recovery, tandem matching, and does 10% end of turn at each turn, which is really dope, lets you bypass resilience and such. And a lot of Brook teams are stalling and such, that helps with killing enemies slowly. As for the special, plus 0.8 chain boost for 2 turns, a moderate heal, also does end of turn heal for 3 turns, 90% damage reduction for 1 turn, block orbs are matching, types also matching for 2 turns, and if the HP is below that mark for 34,000, you will kill the enemy, otherwise you do a 20% HP cut and delay by 1 turn. If you ever wonder why Brook has these weird numbers, like basically anytime you see weird numbers in One Piece Treasure Cruise, it's like Japanese play on words when pronunciation of numbers basically. So the numbers together have something to do with Brook basically. Anyway, pretty solid. I've used him quite a bit myself from time to time. One use has been as wave killing level 1 teams on Treasure Map, for example. Roger hit first against normal attack only, and then Brook can finish the enemy off, stuff like that. But just a generally pretty solid special. Brook has been decent in PvP before as well for decks. Before, HP up level 6, and dex types get def up level 5. So, still pretty viable to be honest. Special was just healing and def up. So let's take a look at what changed here. Now, Brook is buffed to 4.25 times attack, and you don't need full HP, now you just need 8% HP, which is a big improvement. That's so much more lenient and a lot more realistic to uphold. And even if you drop below it, you still have the old captain ability of 3.5 times, so that's really dope. Other than that, the rest is the same, but this is what Brook needed, to be honest. He needed just a higher attack boost and he got it. As for the special, it's got a solid buff. Chain boost is now plus 1.2 times for 2 turns. They also added a delay conditional to him, which is obviously really nice since he does delay the enemies by 1 turn. Not through full immunity, but still. One thing they did really well here that they don't do for a lot of units, I'm talking for example about Usopp and Yasopp, is that they did a 2-turn delay conditional. This should be the standard for delay conditional, because when you delay an enemy, you can get the conditional for 2 turns, both the turn you delay and the turn after you. They still have the delay mark, basically. So I'm happy they did that. As for the rest, it's basically the same, but his special was already good enough, so yeah. Pretty solid upgrade, bit of better chain boost, and can now do a delay conditional. Very nice, for sure. As for PvP, he now added an attack boost to his abilities, which honestly makes him a lot more viable for offense as well, and more scary on defense, like Dex has more potential to get some kills on the defense. As for the special, same as before, a bit higher numbers in healing and def up, but they added a driven debuff, speed down and def down for 30 seconds. That's a really solid buff, to be honest. Debuff. So that would be interesting to try. I don't feel like Dex does that well against driven, mostly because of Moria, but might be interesting to try. So yeah, overall decent buffs for Brook for sure. Let's go into Jack. Honestly, I had no expectation for this. Jack is obviously known for being an experienced captain, 2 times parrot experience earned. He also had a -1 CD, 4 times attack, 1.5 times HP. So very planned captain before. Special not much better. They added a chain lock to his special at least when he got the 6+. Other than that, 25% HP reduction, and he extends any damage reduction, damage of a certain amount, additional damage end of turn, and healing end of turn. So basically only supportive effects, no offensive ones. So what I personally wanted was him to extend everything by 1 turn. I think that would have been very cool, but we'll see what he does in a bit. Obviously, Jack as well, pretty good in PvP. Before, HP up level 6 and could do a def up level 2 for the first 30 seconds. But the big thing used him for was obviously the 22 CT, very big HP cut. You also got a nice def up level 4, 50% HP cut, and in the beginning you also had a 30% HP cut. So still sees use to this day, even if he's starting to show his age a bit, I'd say. As for the buffs, he's now -2 CD, 5 times attack, 1.5 times HP, strength, tandem are matching, and still just 2 times parrot experience. Honestly, I think they should have buffed him to same as Marco. Then in the future they can just buff Marco. Maybe sometime this year they just do a new parrot experience captain, so Jack will be older, Marco will also be irrelevant, so might as well buff him up to that, but they didn't, sadly. Otherwise, 5 times attack is solid, speedrun is solid, like, can't complain. A bit dull, but it is what it is. I don't really expect more from an experienced captain. As for the special, still 25% HP cut. Adds an orb manip, left column slots are changed to tandem, right column slots are changed to strength, and this is true block orb. So that's really dope. His chain lock has changed to a chain boundary that starts at 3 times. Notable though is that it caps at 10 times. It's not the best chain boundary, but definitely better than a 3 times chain lock. Big improvement. He also extends damage reduction, cut damage for a certain amount, additional damage on turn, and healing on turn. So basically the same, they didn't add anything more, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. And this Jack is pretty decent, could potentially see use against Super Boss even, since he naturally pairs pretty well with Kaido, being able to set up tandem orbs, as well as having the highly sought after chain boundary. Legend X-Drake obviously also does that and pairs well with Kaido, but more options is always better. As for PvP, HP up is higher and def up is also higher and lasts for longer. I think it lost 30 seconds before, now it's 40. Even if it's the same, it's still a nice buff because the def up before was level 2. So that's a big improvement. As for the special, def up is the same, but HP cut is better. 70% is the default one, but you can do a 33% one in the beginning. So yeah, that's a big buff, to be honest. HP cut was one of the best parts of Siak, and now it got even better. So yeah, we are halfway through the list. Let's move on to Carrot. I already tried hard a bit against the point event. I say that Carrot has fallen out of favor a bit, mostly because all the new Sulongs outclass her in most roles. The thing that really makes Carrot stand out is her Captain Swap ability. So we'll see if they did anything to improve the special mainly, but we'll see that Captain ability too. -2 CD, and for 12 turns, Carrot can ignore defensive effects, both for the enemy and Carrot herself. And when Carrot is captain from the beginning, she's a 4.75 times captain. 4.4 times captain, and when she does the captain swap, she becomes a 4.5 times captain. So not the best, even if 4.5 times is decently acceptable. But she only boosts fighter, slasher, striker, shooter, and cerebral character. So you just need one of those classes, of course. So yeah, very good captain back in the day, but now there's a lot of competition for defensive effect ignoring captains. Before, fighter, slasher, striker, shooter, and cerebral or boost 2.25 times for 1 turn. Reduces their special charge time by 2 turns. Makes quick recovery tandem stats and matches slot effects for 1 turn. And you swap out for the captain for 3 turns. So yeah, very solid. I've always been a bit iffy on the 3-turn captain swap. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I'm a bit sad that 6-star Carrot didn't get the level limit breaks. Instead, we'd have a 1-turn captain swap Carrot and a 3-turn one. Both have their uses, I'd say. We're not going to look at PvP here because Carrot is not good at it and she didn't get better at it either. As for now, still speedrun captain, still 12 turns, but now she is a 4.75 times captain. And when she becomes captain, she's 5.25 times captain. And yeah, basically after 12 turns has passed, she keeps the same numbers, but she loses the ignoring defensive effects. So that's why there's this big wall of text, basically. So no changes other than numbers, but the numbers are a lot better now. 5.25 times in particular is very much viable and makes her a lot better at her niche as a sub, to go up as captain and give that defensive effect ignoring ability. As for a special, they added her an ability to set defense to 0 for 1 turn. I don't think I have to tell you that that's pretty big. That's a very good buff. War boost is now 2.5 times for 2 turns. Like, it should have been 3. Like, come on. Like, why not do that? It reduces CD by 2 turns, makes quick recovery tandem and matching slot effects for 1 turn. Couldn't they have changed that to 2 turns as well? That would have let it been good for 2 turns, since Carrot could also block negative orb debuff if it was 2 turns. Now she doesn't do that. But anyway, she just still swaps out for captain for 3 turns. So yeah, this makes Carrot a lot better, because when she goes up as captain, she ignores the damage reduction, damage threshold, damage immunity, whatever. Doesn't ignore defense, but she can set it to 0. You'd a lot of time maybe use her on the stage 4, for example, in an arena or such, to go up to captain. Those stages much rarely have full immunities. You could potentially abuse the setting defense to 0, potentially. See, I think she got like the best buff she realistically could got, so not much to complain about, to be honest. Decent buff. Let's move on, and it's pretty exciting. We have both the Sabo, and both got amazing buffs, actually. starting with the 6+. Before, he was a 3x attack captain if you had strength, dex, and quick units on the team. And if you didn't have any psi or int units, it gets buffed to a 4.5x attack captain, I think. Also speedrun captain -2 CD, as long as you have strength, dex, and quick. So yeah, when he got this limit break expansion back in the day, that was pretty good number for 4.5x. But the special was still a bit meh, so he didn't really get a lot of use anyway. -1 CD, 1.75x attack boost for the strength, dex, quick. And if you hit 3 perfects, you get a 2x attack boost. So yeah, it was pretty solid. I still used this from time to time, to be honest. Attack boost for 2 stages, and you have seed reduction, and you have a Sabo with support. Really good. Now with level limit break, still -2 CD. Now we have a 4x attack base if you have strength, dex, and quick. And if you have no psi or int, you get buffed to 5.4x, I think that is. That's really good. And he also resists special reverse by 2 turns. That's actually really cool, since he does CD reduction with his special, for example. So now we can still use that to reduce your CD on the crew, like for speedrunning purposes and such. And obviously just resisting special reverse in general is amazing. And 2 turns is perfectly fine. I really have no complaints with that. That's like the standard. Sometimes there's 3 turns, but pretty rare. And special reverse is not that common, I feel like, to resist. So might see legit use actually, and that's really cool. As for the special, -1 CD, reduces paralysis by 6 turns, locks orbs for 1 turn, 2.25x attack boost for strength, dex, and quick, and if you hit 3 perfects, it becomes a 2.5x attack boost. Solid upgrade, does the same as before, but higher numbers, adds paralysis and an orb block, which is always good to have. Like, even if you can't change orbs, you usually have something that can do, and you can set that up for like a final stage or something. So yeah, not the most exciting special, but it's good enough. This will see legit use, I'd say. And honestly, I say that they actually made the 6-star better, as we'll see. But as for the captain ability before, same conditions as Lucy's, we won't repeat that, or 6+ Sabo, of course. -1 CD, 2.75x attack, up to a bit over 4x, not sure the exact number before. As for the special, no CD reduction, but 1.75x attack boost, hit 4 perfects for 2x attack boost. So like the 6+, but worse. But with level limit break. It's basically a new unit now. Has the exact same attack boost as the 6+. You start with 4x, can go up to like 5.4x, such a good number. And instead of special reverse, this Sabo resists special bind. That's actually really cool. Almost makes me wonder if they want us to use both as captain, but both do attack boost in special, so not that great a synergy. So basically same captains for both. One resists special reverse, one resists special bind. So in this batch we got a new disappear resist, we got a new special bind resist, new special reverse resist. Really good, y'all. No complaints from me. Special is really cool as well. It's basically like the Kid Luffy, but for Lucy here. Reduces special charge time by 1 turn. So this Sabo also got the seed reduction. Strength, dex, and quick get an attack boost 1.75x for 1 turn. And then basically, as you keep hitting perfects, you keep this for basically 3 stages. Start at 1.75x attack, then goes up to 2.25x attack. And for the final stage, you get up 2.5x attack. So it is basically like the mechanic that Kid Luffy has, where you can make the chain multiplier boost stronger and stronger, but this time it's an attack boost. He also gives you a plus 0.9 chain boost for 5 turns, kind of like how Kid Luffy gets a 5 turns ore boost. So you think that they made them to work together since they get complementary buffs, but they shouldn't stack because this perfect buff should be the exact same one that Kid Luffy has, so can only get one of them. Still very cool though, and I'd say this will see more use than the 6+, even if the 6+ has slightly... No, it's the same numbers, this is just better overall. Like the 6+ has some utility, which this one doesn't, but still, very cool job they did with this one. And yeah, after that, I feel pretty tired of talking. This is basically my limit for how long I can talk without stopping. But yeah, good job. Look forward to trying these out. I got all of them maxed, basically, except for both the Sabo, but they are far from maxed. They're not even level 3, so I feel a bit bad about that, but it is what it is. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.